Shalom Akim, this is Yahba Tazah coming back with another video. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. Alright, tonight I'm just coming back with a video. Basically, it's going to be like a testimony and a witness of the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai on an incident that occurred going back like 8 years ago from now that involved this man right here you see. A police officer and myself. Like I said, 8 years ago I was incarcerated, put in jail for preaching the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and I was probably like maybe a year in it already. And basically this is what it's going to be about, is this man, the testimony and a witness of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's power on those that try to frustrate prophecy, and that are proud and, you know, scoffers and mockers and things of that nature. All right, this is a testimony of myself on a man that I truly believe through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai cast judgment on this man. All right, I want to bring out scriptures, Akim. Unfortunately, I left my backpack back in my hometown. I'm out here at work, and I have no access to my backpack, meaning I don't have my sword with me. So I'm gonna try to do what I can without this thing shutting off the screen recorder. You know, I have scriptures lined up in Acts chapter 5, Psalms 105, and Matthew chapter 18. But hopefully everything will work itself out, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, it'll come out, you know, the way it needs to come out. All right, but it says officials confirmed death of San Angelo policeman Sergeant Fred Dietz. Official photo by Joe Hyde, November 6, 2017. So this man, this officer that you see right here, he was put to death on Monday. All right, and I just barely found this out yesterday, which was November 8th. While I was in my hometown, I caught wind that a police officer had died. So I went on the website, San Angelo Live, and I saw his picture, and this man right here, you know, Officer Dietz, and I immediately was like in awe, because I was just talking about him a couple of days prior, and as I said, this officer was the one that had me authorized to have me put in jail, because I was out there speaking and you know, preaching, prophesying. So right, so I tried making this video last night, but you know, it wasn't wanting to work right, so I'm back at it again, and Lord willing to upload properly. All right, but it says last updated November 7th, 2017. All right, so it says the San Angelo, Texas, a 50-year-old veteran police officer killed himself at the police headquarters, all right, 401 East Beauregard Avenue this morning, according to San Angelo Police Department. So this officer killed himself, man. All right, took his own life Monday morning in the police department, all right, where I'm from. Okay, and like I said, when I first started the ministry of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I started somewhere in 2009. Now, I can't tell you if it was in the beginning, middle, or the end, but it was in 2009. And 2010 is when I had got put in jail by this officer that authorized that I be put in jail. And this man, he's known me. He's been knowing me since I was like in second or third or fourth grade. He used to be my dare teacher in my childhood elementary school. And just to let you brothers know what happened exactly, not in great detail, but um, just to cut a long story short, some Edomites had called the cops on me because I was saying things that were offensive. They found that were offensive, and the cops surrounded me, and they were asking me questions until I guess they were waiting. Well, they were waiting for somebody because he ended up showing up. So I was just there with my back against the wall, and around me were like 4 or 5 Edomites just waiting. And then he pops up, gets out the car, comes up to me, smiling, and he asked me, "Do you remember me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I remember you. You used to be my dare teacher in in my elementary school." He was like, "Yeah, that's right." He was like, "I remember you too." I was like, "Cool." We're smiling, laughing, kind of not we're just I guess reminiscing, but immediately he went into that mode where he was being professional, telling me that I can't be doing what I'm doing because people are finding it offensive. And I was like, well, I'm just reading the scriptures. I'm reading what the Lord told me to read, and that's what I'm going to do. And he told me, well, it's up to you, but I'm letting you know right now, you will get put in jail. I will have you put in jail. And I asked him, I was like, so what? So since you're saying these people are calling you because they don't like what I'm saying, which they find offensive, so anything I say, they can just say that whatever I say, they can find offensive. He was like, yeah. I was like, I could say the color pink, and if they don't like it, they'll call you. He was like, yeah, and I'll have you put in jail. So I was like, well, I'm gonna keep pushing his word. Basically, that's what I told him. He left like that. It wasn't a happy ending. He left. I left. I went back out again that following weekend, and I kept pushing the word. And sure enough, they called the cops on me again. He had me arrested. All right, and immediately I made bail. I got out, and the brothers, as soon as I got out, at the time I was always talking to an ex-member of GMS Dallas, his name was Akkad Lamar. And immediately, as soon as I got out, I called them. I called him, letting them know what happened. And I remember Ariala telling him to tell me to read Luke chapter 6, where it talks about blessed are those and that receive that are hated on this side, basically, roughly paraphrasing. So right, man, so this man, he's the one that had authorized that. So I'm gonna continue to read. It says that approximately at 10:41 a.m. San Angelo police responded to a private office within police headquarters where they located the body of Sergeant Freddie Dietz Jr., who was deceased from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, stated the official police press release. All right, so he took himself out, man. He blasted himself, and it happened right there in that picture you see. That's where the incident occurred, inside that building. And then I'm gonna go ahead and read you right here, because this is where the Lord took him out. All right, but the Lord cast judgment on him also last year. All right, and there's a story behind that too. But it says Dietz suffered a broken neck and multiple injuries in a crash near his home on US 87 North on April 5th, 2016. The unmarked police car he was driving was T-boned by a large utility truck. He sustained months of hospitalization, including time in the Dallas hospital. Right, so this happened in 2016 of April. Well, maybe a week before this, maybe 2 weeks, the spirit was put on me to go back downtown. So I made the decision to go back downtown. A week later, I caught wind that he got into a car accident. And so I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? I was like, the Lord, the judgment of the Lord caught up to him, you know, and, the Lord was dealing with him at that moment. And I was just, focused on pushing the work. So I was back downtown. So, somewhere between, what is it, March or April, late March, early April is when I started going back downtown to preach in my city. So that was it, you know what I'm saying? I continued to do with the business of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and I never heard anything else about this dude, you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously he didn't die. There was no reports of him, dying from the injuries or anything like that. So, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I kept doing the work, dealing with what I had to deal with. And, because remember, he told me, or also, I'm Salakia, when he had me arrested, before he had me arrested, he warned me and told me that when that day came, I was not allowed back downtown to be doing what I was doing. He was like, while I'm here, you're not allowed to come back down here. I was like, nowhere. He's like, nowhere downtown. If you are, I'm gonna have you arrested. So that's when I started going elsewhere in the city. Okay, so the Lord's judgment finally came to a fulfillment, and had him put to death, man. Had him take himself out, his own self out by suicide, man. Right here, San Angelo police responded to a private office within police headquarters where they located the body of Sergeant Freddie Dees Jr., who was deceased from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, man. All right. So this man was highly, praised here in the city. A lot of people respected him. Said he was, of course, how the world always is. They say that their own is always good. They were good people and everything like that. And well, he was taken out by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and I believe that the Lord paid him back, man. So hopefully, let me see if I can pull out some scriptures real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Acts chapter 5 and start at verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahweh rather than men. All right, so because when you read this in the beginning of the chapter, the apostles were being persecuted for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for Yahweh Shai. Okay, so they told him we rather obey the Most High rather than men. All right, so I'm gonna go from there, and I'm gonna read from there to verse 34, because the Pharisees and scribes, they were all pissed off. They hated the fact that Peter and the apostles, they were full of the spirit of courage and standing up for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai boldly. So in Acts chapter 5 verse 34 it says, then stood up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had in reputation again among all the people, and committed to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, you men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men. That's right, because when you touch the men of the Lord, man, you're touching Yahweh Shai, and when you touch Yahweh Shai, you're touching the Father. So when you cross those lines, man, they're going to be dealt with. You're going to be dealt with on the time of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, on their time. All right. So Gamaliel stood up on the behalf of the apostles, man, and was telling his people, his companions, hey, man, back off these men. All right, and take heed. Consider what you're doing as touching these men, right? So that's what this man should have done. This police officer that had me arrested, man, that interrupted the prophecies, the preaching of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's word being put out, man. Because we ain't shit, but it's the word, the spirit that counts, man. All right. So Gamaliel stood up in the defense of these men and told them, hey man, you better step back and watch what you're about to do.